This is me, playing my first ever Challenger main draw match to start my clay season off. And on the other side, well, a guy who beat Tsitsipas at Roland Garros this year. This introduction itself says enough about the stakes and level of this match. After my triumph in Mexico, which you absolutely need to check out on my channel if you haven't seen that video yet, I'm back home, starting off a new series, which for the lack of a better name, we're gonna call Clay Season Grind. And this season started off pretty strong. My second event was the Challenger 100 of Monza, so definitely more than a step up from the 50k tournaments I played last month. For context, winning a match in main draw here would be 7 ATP points awarded, so 1 point less than making a final in a 15k. And winning a match in qualifying would be 2 ATP points, so the same as making quarters in a 15k. To make things even more difficult, the tournament was the same week as the Monte Carlo Masters 1000, and was one of the only 2 challengers on clay in Europe that week, meaning the draw was very strong. The first seed was a top 100 player, and the worst player in the main draw was 220 ATP. This was not only a very important tournament in general, but it was very special to me because I am from Monza. I literally live less than a kilometer away from the site and grew up playing in this club from 6 years old all the way until I went to college. But this was my home tournament. It does not get any more home than this. I was blessed to receive a main draw wildcard for this event from the organizers, as despite my recent tournament win, my ranking was nowhere close to good enough to make this tournament. So an incredible opportunity to play some great tennis in front of my home crowd. Obviously I didn't show up unprepared. After I came back from Mexico, I started training on clay and went to Sardinia to play a 25k event on clay. There I managed to qualify and played a tough first round against a player ranked around 1000, where I quickly saw how different it was from playing at altitude in Mexico. A lot more rallying here, being ready to play long points and not do as much damage with the serve. Obviously still had room to squeeze in winners here and there, but it was much more difficult. I ended up winning the first round 7-6, 6-0 and getting an ATP point before losing to former world 88 Dominic Stricker 6-3, 6-4. So not a bad loss at all and a great way to get a few matches before playing on the big stage. I was still a few days early here at the Challenger in Monza, so I really used the opportunity to test out the brand new courts they redid for the tournament, get a few practices in to really try to polish the last few aspects of playing on clay, and getting used to the conditions. Here was the draw, and I was facing Matteo Gigante, a young Italian player who earlier this year made a second round of Indian Wells. And fast forwards, a month after this match, won a Challenger and made the third round of Roland Garros, beating none other than Stefanos Tsitsipas. So yeah, a very tough but exciting match laid ahead. Match day came, and it was showtime.
Just rather watch me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all.
I started off serving this match, and that is my go-to against stronger players because I like to at least try to keep the score advantage and not be the one always catching up. Of course I need to have my focus much higher from the start, but that had to be there anyway if I wanted to win this match. One thing I knew about him was that he had a very good backhand, both in terms of pace and angles. So my strategy was going to revolve around playing a lot to his forehand, as you can see here at the start. This was going to be a true test for my backhand because I needed to be very solid on that side in order to neutralize his game and play to his forehand as my strategy. I get a 40-15 this game, and as you can see, sticking to the plan so far, and I've got a few mistakes out of him, and I was able to somewhat lead the point, or be neutral in the rally, playing to this forehand.
Out!
Won the first game, and definitely some nerves left the match, which was good, and now I had to keep up and try to get used to his pace quickly. Too much with the forehand there, but we do get the 30-0 and somewhat lucky return that just stays in and the rally is on. One of the few balls I hit to his backhand so far, and it opens up the court greatly, but I just missed the approach. Nonetheless, we're back to deuce. Good point here, and this was one of the best shots. His backhand reach lob caused a bunch of trouble this match. A great 1-2 punch here.
Gioco.
You can start to see here how good his backhand was, and the scary thing was that actually the more he played them and got in the match, it kept getting better.
Out!
30-15 here, and I have to hit a few forehands cross. But eventually I do change line. backhands in a row on the next trap there. Maybe a bit late, and now I'm facing breakpoint. I decided double fault, so I'm 2-1 down.
Out!
Starting to mess up with the backhand a bit here. And it's been pretty solid swing-wise, but I think he's finding depth and angle, and I'm starting to miss the sweet spot here and there. I'm still 15-30 up though, looking for a chance to break. Once again, staying at that cross court proves to be the winning strategy. An ace there, followed by another wide backhand, and it's back to deuce. Great point by him there. We do get to deuce once again. A bad miss there, and I have a breakpoint chance. We're even again now, and I'm looking to get ahead this game.
Out! You got
30-all and an essential ace wide. I win this deuce point to earn another game point. Able to force a miss there and take the game.
Yep.
He starts off with a double fault, and then again at low 30 another one. Absolutely terrible game on his side so far. I surprised him with the backhand down the line to take that break. Now serving right after to go 5-2, so looking to keep that momentum going and be well set on every ball. On clay, obviously it's not going to be as many winners like you were used to seeing on my Mexico swing. It was longer rallies and more building the points, so often points were ending with mistakes.
Out! Out!
30-all here though, very delicate moment. I know in these cases it's tempting to try and do something extra, but in the end it's always best to stick to the plan and play as any other point. And I did do that, but just slightly mishit the backhand, and it goes wide once again. A good 1-2 punch though, and I'm safe for now. Open up the court well here and waste no time to approach, and then hit one of my best volleys probably ever. Here's the replay from another angle as well, just crazy good. Couldn't hold the smile at the end because I know I couldn't make it again. A good rally there, but too good on his side. I hit too big forehand there before I decide to come to the net, but can't quite get to the pass.
Out!
There's another chance to go 5-2, and this time he missed the return. This game we had new balls, so obviously the goal was still to try and win the game, but also to get used to the new balls, to be ready to serve it out in case he held this game.
Out!
I do get to the point of having to serve it out, as he holds easily. Probably the best point of the match so far here. Over 20 ball rally and a rare inside-in winner. And just an absolutely massive point to start off this very important game. After this point, I felt pretty good, you know. I was aggressive but didn't overdo it. And I kept the mentality for the rest of the game where he did give me some mistakes. 40 love, but it's time to welcome the Shankometer. At 40-15, he misses the return though, and I take the set 6-3. Going into the second set here, I obviously had the same mentality of not forcing too much and working to build a point. You know, I didn't want to start missing on my own, because I thought I had to do something crazy to win the point. I was expecting him to up his game surely, but also I was up a set, so stayed confident and wanted to show that nothing was going to come for free. All here, and backhand slips just deep. Another ball that's just a bit deep. And now I'm lot 30 on serve, so not ideal start of the second set. As you can see, he's still a bit inconsistent, as he has been making a few more mistakes than I expected so far this match. And I'm able to turn that game around. But he was mixing in maybe 2 mistakes in a row with backhands like this, so he would always have to stay on the alert. A bit of cat and mouse this point, and I was maybe unprepared for this last volley here. I should be much closer to net and end up losing the game. 2-1 down, no break is not a bad place to be though. A good backhand line to get out of the rally there, but then I don't know what to do with his forehand in all honesty, and miss it in the net. A bit late here on the run with the forehand, and now facing break points. Backhand miss there, and this was tough. I think he was much more used to me hitting to his forehand now and was able within the rally to push me more and more out. That's why I started missing the backhand wide quite a bit. And here's just a rocket. Even though I was going full power as I do here, he was there and was still able to stay in the rally and not suffer too much. Obviously his level was going up, but I wasn't necessarily playing wrong or much worse, except a few mistakes. I still believe that, you know, if I got adjusted to his level, and I could still make a comeback this set and fight until the end. You know, really taking it point by point and give him less rhythm was gonna help.
Out!
You can see me here going to the net 3 times in a row, putting the pressure on him to pass me. After that hold, the focus shifted to a possible break, and I was up love 15 in the game, seeing a possible chance. This one is just deep, and at 15-30 here, I hit just deep, unfortunately.
Out!
He does not go for a lob this time, and that gives me a big hand as he misses the pass. A couple of return shanks here, but once again deuce, and this time the return is good at his feet. My pass is just wide,
Out.
despite it being relatively easy. And now dudes were scrambling once again to take this game home. Break point here gives me the break point. A foreign miss hit, and we're on. Now in the past, these situations against better players I tend to rush, so I really was focusing on taking my time here, come back to 4-all.
Out.
And 30 love here, but nothing I can do really. Another point started with a second serve, not ideal. Great forehand to open up the court, and possibly a bad bounce, not too sure. Either way I miss it, and 30-all. I go for a safer first serve, but not enough pace really to hurt him, so it's gonna be a neutral rally.
Out.
Too much with the backhand there, and now that chance was gone. Too bad, because I was actually focusing on taking it slower this game and not making the same mistakes as usual, but it didn't go my way. It is pretty annoying because in a hardcore you're 30 love up and you're just like, I just need two good first serves to take the game home. But on clay you always gotta build and play it out. Also it didn't help that I didn't put any first serves at all in that game, but still it was gonna be more difficult than on hard either way. Still, as you can see, I was not giving up and determined to stay in this point. But once again, the lob on the reach on my high back and volley, and he comes out on top of it. So yeah, that was the second set. I had my chances and overall the level was good, but I couldn't dwell on how it went too much because it was still the third set. And either way, I had to make sure I played every point until the end because it doesn't happen all the time that I play against such an opponent. So I was gonna take the set point by point. I get up to 40-15, but I return winner and another point get him to deuce. A good first start of the set. .30 love on his serve now, and obviously just going to his forehand wasn't working all the time anymore. I throw in the drop shot this time, but he hits a great counter. Looking back at this point makes you a bit upset, because if I was a bit tougher, I could have made it to deuce, and then you never know, maybe you can get a break chance. A double fault puts me 15-30 down, and yeah, another not so great point, which I underline with my shout. And now I had to dig deep to stay in this. That's much better, and for once my movement at the net was spot on. Pretty predictable at this point what's gonna happen, and I couldn't quite find a fix, as hitting down the line would result in an easy winner by him and me running. And then when you're down is when the fatigue starts coming out, and obviously you have to fight against that as well. And as you can see, I start being late often, and that game slips away. I was certainly not gonna give up though, and in my mind, if I won this game and I was just 3-2 down, all outcomes were very possibly alive.
Out.
30-15 up here, and as you can see from the game in the second set, I'm not making a whole lot of first serves anymore, so points are even more difficult while serving. Very lucky there with the net, and looking to close the game out at 40-15. 3-2 now, and I'm sorry for the audio. I don't know what happened to the camera at this point, but the noise started getting louder and louder. 15 love down, and it's becoming more difficult to lead the point. He's the one moving me around the most, and here he hits a backhand that I can only watch. A not so good drop shot this time, and that same lob with the sun in my face this time, and that was a lethal combo. (4-2), and the same mindset as before applied. If I could stay just one game away, I was good. Yeah, as you can see, I was a bit running out of solution, as he seemed to have an answer to everything I did now.
Out!
30-all, and I thought I had a good first serve finally, but this is the return, so I'm down either way. And he comes up and says, "Thank you very much." Breakpoint him. Same backhand every time. He really did break me down on that side in the end. And being tired as well, I was always half a step too far away to hit that clean over and over. In no time, he's 30 love up.
Out!
40-15, and I somehow survive and even try to pump myself. Nice serve to my backhand, and then once again just leaves me watching his backhand cross, and just too good there. Obviously wanted to win there, and felt like I was not too far off as well. But still very good level in my opinion, and a good display against such a strong player, which as I said in the intro, a little over a month after he beat Tsitsipas at Roland Garros. So no amateur, let's say. I felt like I couldn't really correct that backhand issue, and I wasn't as fit as I wanted to be, and that's kind of when I lost it mostly. And obviously, he played some incredible shots as well. But overall, lots of positive to take from this match, and from this experience as a whole in general. You know, being around these kind of players, some of which are top 100 as well, for the whole week was eye-opening and motivating in many aspects. By watching the final as well, there was a lot to be learned from these guys, how they do different things, how they compete, how they carry themselves on court, and so on. I really hope that I'm able to reach that level and play these tournaments consistently. Thank you once again for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. It took quite some time to put together, but I believe the end result makes it worth it. So if you think that too, then please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.